Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Kat, and if you're new here, we've been baking our way through Some of My Best Friends Are Cookies by Emelia Jackson. Today's recipe is raspberry rhubarb crumble bars, and it's very similar to a jam slice if you grew up in Australia. So let's just get started with making these delicious biscuits. So first up, we've got 170 grams of butter. And to this, we're adding 90 grams of caster sugar. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're just going to beat this to combine. And while it's beating, I am going to wash and cut up my 4 stalks of rhubarb. So this little bowl is for our crumble topping. And in it, we have 70 grams of butter and 50 grams of caster sugar. Hundred and 10 grams of plain flour, and 45 grams of brown sugar. And I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. So that is now combined, and we're going to add 265 grams of plain flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and a pinch of salt. And we're going to mix this until it just comes together. So it says to use a 20 by 20 centimeter cake tin. I'm going to use a slice tray, and we're just going to tip our biscuit in and press it down into the tin, and then we're going to bake at 180 degrees for 20 minutes. So this is the raspberry rhubarb filling. So we've got 4 stalks of rhubarb diced, 125 grams of raspberries and 100 grams of good quality raspberry jam. And we just have to mix this up. And for this crumble mixture, we're just gonna rub this all together. I'm using a fork because I don't want to get a whole lot of crumble mixture under my nails, which will take forever to get out. But you can just use your fingers. And I'm not sure if I said already, but in this bowl we have 100 grams of plain flour, 50 grams of caster sugar, 45 grams of brown sugar, 70 grams of unsalted butter, and a pinch of salt. So we've got some nice browned edges. So then we add our rhubarb raspberry filling. And then we add our crumble over the top. And then this goes back into the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. So this recipe was meant to make 9 pieces. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to do bits that are that big for my family, because we would never eat them that big. I'm probably going to cut each piece that would be a biscuit into 2 or maybe 3 pieces. But these look really nice. It has mostly cooled down. It is still a little bit warm, but it is not too bad at all. So this is probably the size that I will cut it, which is, yeah, quite a bit smaller than what is recommended in the book. But I just feel like something that is like this size is just way too big. So what I ended up doing was I cut 2 pieces in half and the other 7 pieces into 3. I just feel like the size was too big for my family and what we tend to like, but let's give it a try. I really like all of the layers that you can see in the biscuit. This is really nice. I really like these. My son didn't like the last rhubarb jam biscuits because they were too tart. So hopefully the raspberry jam in this will make them a little bit sweeter for him and he will enjoy these. But I really like them. The base is like a shortbread sort of texture. Top is nice and crumbly. The jam is sweet and tart. It's a really nice biscuit. Thank you for being here today as we made these rhubarb raspberry crumble bars. If you like, I will pop another video here that you can enjoy between now and my next upload. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.